To matters health now, osteoporosis is a progressive bone disease that is characterized by a decrease in bone mass and density, which can lead to an increased risk of a fracture. Now, lack of calcium and vitamin D is attributed as one of the major contributors to this condition. On our health feature, Miriam Kanyugo tells us more about the disease. At a young age, bones grow and repair very quickly, but this process slows as one gets older. Bones stop growing in length between the ages of 16 and 18, but continue to increase in density. Over time, one gradually loses bone density. This is a normal part of aging, but for some people it can lead to osteoporosis and an increased risk of fractures, which commonly occur in the hip, wrist or spine, but also can affect other bones.
Osteoporosis mainly affects women, and the main cause of osteoporosis is when the hormone estrogen is not produced in sufficient amounts in the body, and as a result you find that calcium is not being deposited into the bones as it ought to be, and this leads to the bones becoming brittle and the density becoming lighter, and this would cause one to have bones that would easily break or easily get fractured or dislocated. Also, lack of exercises would cause osteoporosis because exercises helps the deposit of calcium onto the bones.
Once bones have been weakened by osteoporosis, one may have signs and symptoms that include back pain caused by a fractured or collapsed vertebra, loss of height over time, a stooped posture, a bone fracture that occurs much more easily than expected. How likely one develops osteoporosis depends partly on how much bone mass they attained at youth. Although commonly associated with post-menopausal women, osteoporosis can also affect men, young women and children. Gladys Obongi, a nutritionist, tells us more of the predisposing factors of osteoporosis.
People who have a fair complexion are likely to have osteoporosis. Lack of exercises. It is also hereditary in that in families where one person is found to have, you're likely to have osteoporosis in your family. Also, people who smoke a lot are exposed to it. People who drink alcohol, high quantities of alcohol, who consume coffee, colas, and soft drinks, fizzy drinks are likely to have osteoporosis. Somebody who has chronic liver disease.
A healthy diet that comprises much of calcium and vitamin D will help prevent bone loss as well as strengthen already weak bones while taking heavy weight-bearing exercise.
Adequate consumption of protein, calcium, magnesium, vitamin C and D are the essential foods that one who has osteoporosis is expected to consume so as to reverse the trend and to slow down the onset of the disease to later stages. Seeds. We also have sardines and salmons with bones consumed as whole. Yogurt would be a good source of calcium. We also have most fruits and vegetables, but mainly kales, the broccoli and the turnip greens contain least amounts of oxalates.
One should keep in mind that some foods, if consumed, reduce the body's intake of calcium. Thus, they should avoid them while consuming calcium-rich foods.
Whole grains contain a substance that binds calcium and makes it unavailable in the body for use.
Bone fractures, particularly in the spine or hip, are the most serious complications of osteoporosis. Hip fractures often result from a fall and can result in disability and even death from post-operative complications, especially in older adults. The risk of osteoporosis can be reduced with lifestyle changes, which include an intake of a healthy diet and also physical exercise. For Healthful Living, I'm Miriam Kanyugo. Well, now you know what would cause osteoporosis and what you would do to prevent it. Such an informative piece from Miriam Kanyugo. Now, at this point, we'll take a short break, but don't go away. We still have more to come. I leave you with the proverb of the day.